I stopped a kid from getting hit by a car, and his mother tried to have me arrested for kidnapping. My son's little league team had just finished their game. I was leaning against the fence waiting for him to grab his gear when I noticed a toddler wandering across the parking lot, maybe 2 years old, diaper, no shoes, just walking between the cars like it was a playground. I looked around for the parents, nobody. Then I heard the engine. A minivan was backing out of a spot, driver looking at her phone, and this kid was walking straight into her path. I didn't think. I just ran. I scooped him up and pulled him out of the lane right as the van rolled through where he'd been standing. The kid started screaming. I was catching my breath, heart pounding, when I heard another scream. A woman sprinting toward me from the concession stand, face twisted, fists clenched. "Get your hands off my son." I put the kid down immediately. "Hands up." "Ma'am, I wasn't taking him. He was about to get hit by that van." She snatched him up and backed away from me like I was a predator. "Help! This man tried to take my baby." People started running over from the bleachers. Dads, moms, coaches. Within 30 seconds, I was surrounded. I tried to explain. The van, the kid in the lane. Nobody was listening. One dad stepped forward, chest puffed. "What were you doing with her son?" I pointed at the minivan that was now parked. "Ask her." She almost backed over him. The driver just stared, wide-eyed, and said nothing. The mom was on her phone, crying. I heard her say kidnapping and youth sports complex and please hurry. 2 officers arrived in under 5 minutes. The mom ran to them, still hysterical, pointing at me. "That's him." He grabbed my son and ran. An officer approached me. "Sir, I need you to put your hands behind your back." I said I could explain. He said I'd get my chance. But right now, I was being detained. My son Evan walked up right as the cuffs clicked. 9 years old, cleats still on. "Dad," I told him to stay back, that everything was fine. But he saw the handcuffs. He saw the crowd staring at his father like a criminal. I looked past the officers and noticed the security camera mounted above the concession stand, pointed right at the parking lot. "There's a camera," I said. "Right there. Pull the footage and you'll see exactly what happened." The officer looked where I was pointing. Then he spoke into his radio. 10 minutes later, we were inside the facility manager's office. Me, still in cuffs. Both officers. The mom, clutching her son. And a small crowd gathered outside the door, watching through the window. The manager pulled up the parking lot feed and rewound it. Nobody spoke. On the screen, clear as day. The toddler wandering between cars. The minivan backing out. Me sprinting across the lot, grabbing the kid, pulling him clear. The van rolling through the exact spot where he'd been standing half a second earlier. The officer closest to me exhaled. Well, he reached over and unlocked the cuffs. My wrists were sore. I rubbed them and said nothing. He turned to the mom. His voice was different now. "Ma'am, this man saved your son's life. If he hadn't been paying attention, we'd be dealing with something a lot worse right now." She stared at the screen. Her mouth opened, but nothing came out. Then she looked at me. Her whole face crumbled. She started crying again. The officer continued. "You let your 2-year-old wander into a parking lot unsupervised. You're lucky. You're very lucky." She couldn't even respond, just held her son tighter and sobbed into his hair. She looked at me through the tears. "I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I thought." I didn't wait for the rest. I walked out of the office, past the crowd that had gathered to watch me get destroyed and stayed to watch me get cleared. Evan was waiting by the door. He didn't say anything, just grabbed my hand. We walked to the car together. He finally spoke when I started the engine. "Dad, you saved that kid." I nodded. "Yeah, I did." He thought for a second. "That lady was wrong about you." I looked at him. 9 years old, already learning that doing the right thing doesn't always look like the right thing. Sometimes people are, buddy. You just gotta know who you are.